Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this conference, this much-needed conference. Thank you very much for the welcome. So a litigator is someone that, I don't say I like to argue. I say that I'm persuasive, and I like to convince some individuals, that being the judge or the court or my adversary, to think in things in the way in which I think, or persuade them into the way in which I foresee or forecast a particular case. So let me just give you a little background. My name is Tanya. I am now the president of the Association of Black Women Attorneys. The induction ceremony was last week, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I want to encourage all of you Black women to join the organization, whether you're in law school, outside of law school. The organization's mission is Lifting as We Rise. To give you a background of the organization, it was from its inception in 1976. It was created by 6 women at Howard Law School who saw it fit to say that we need a sisterhood that encourages each other and thus lifts as we rise and promotes professional development for Black women attorneys. So we are, and I am this year, taking on the helm of that organization and promoting that Lifting as We Rise mantra. This year, my theme is changing the narrative. I am my sister's keeper because I am my sister. And basically what that is a combination of personal relationships and professional relationships. So what I have to share with you today is, if you're entering law school or you're in law school, the relationships that you develop there will be long-lasting relationships. So I would encourage you not to compartmentalize your relationships as you enter law school, and even outside of law school. I think in my experience in the profession, I graduated from St. John's University, and my practice area, St. John's, and my practice area is I specialize now in labor and employment law. So I'm a senior counsel specializing in labor and employment law on the management side. What that just means is I represent corporations. That's all that means. But I do help out plaintiffs. And how do I do that? I do that in the representation that I provide to the corporations, taking in consideration the employees and how to best manage employees and employee-employer situation. But what I've learned throughout the years, and even becoming president recently of the organization, is that a lot of my colleagues, my friends, my law school comrades have come on board with me, and now they are chairs of committees of the Association of Black Women Attorneys to promote this Lifting as We Rise. So know that your relationships are important, and not just your professional relationships, but I encourage you and challenge you to develop personal relationships with people, because it's the personal relationships that is going to eventually maybe get you that job when you get out of law school. A lot of people say, you go network, you go to these networking events, you give somebody your card, and that's it. You don't know who the people are, I don't remember them. A lot of times I may remember an event that I went to, but there's no connection. So there's an apprehension to ask for help because you have no connection with the individual. So I would encourage you to, each person that you meet, attempt to relate on a personal basis. And also, a lot of what my theme is for this year for the association, and I'll let the men know in the room. We have a partner association. It's called 1844, and they're all males, and we do joint events with the males as well. So it's not, and ABWA does not discriminate. So we do bring in males that seek to join the organization as well. So that's another plug for ABWA, for men and women. But I want to say to you and share with you today that you should engage in some personal as well as professional bonding. I call it filling ABWA's 18 holes. So I'm going to ask, who knows the significance of golf? Like, why golf is so significant? Can you tell me why you think golf is so significant?
I think it's significant because so many business deals go down on golf.
Okay, and that's exactly correct. So let me ask someone, why do so many business deals go down on a golf course? Yes. walking around and talking to people. And what does that bring about? Connections, friendships, relationships. You're getting to know people in a non-professional environment, right? There's a lot that you can assess from being on the golf course for 4 hours with a group of people. You're either going to like them personally or you're not. So that's one thing that you'll be able to assess immediately. And thereafter, you can actually see whether they're risk takers just by the way they play golf. You're having engaging in conversations with them, and you can know whether they are interested in the types of things you're interested in, whether they're relatable. And all of those things are non-professional, right? They have nothing necessarily to do with the profession. It's actually dealing with the individual personally. And that's why golf is so successful. So some of the goals that the association is trying to do is not change the rudimentary programs that we have, but actually just change the venue so that we can promote this type of golf and filling 18 holes with respect to the organization. So I encourage you, events that you see, that you go out to those events, but some of the events that are a little maybe unorthodox or not as typical for a professional event, I would encourage you to go to those events as well. I'm going to encourage you. So another thing I just want to touch base with is the organization also offers a scholarship. Who needs money? Unfortunately, I can't apply for the scholarship, but we do have a scholarship program. And what's very interesting is that within the New York City area, we don't get as many students, law students, actually applying to our scholarship. And our scholarship is called the Ruth Whitehead Whaley Scholarship. Ruth Whitehead Whaley was the first African-American or Black attorney to get admitted into New York State, the New York State Bar. She also, as I understand it, was the first Black women attorney to actually graduate from Fordham Law School. So each year we hold a luncheon, and every 5 years a gala. So this year it's a luncheon that we hold, and we offer scholarships. So I would encourage you to go onto our website. It's ABWA New York, ABWA New York.org. We have the scholarship recipients from last year on the website. Some of our keynote speakers are on that website, and we will soon be putting out that scholarship. And I would encourage you to apply to that scholarship and also to give back. So I want to let you know that I'm here and available. The organization is here and available to you. We do seek out law students to be liaisons at their various law schools so that you know that you have a sisterhood once you get out, while you're in law school, as well as once you get out of law school. So those of you interested in being a liaison for ABWA, I encourage you to contact me, and we will come out to your law school and we will present to your bosses and apostles for purposes of your general body meetings, and let you know that we're here to encourage you and support you. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. You have resources available to you. Do not be afraid to ask, okay? Because if you don't ask, then you don't know, right? So my motto is, to much is given, much is required, and to whom much is entrusted, much more will be asked. So we are here to help you. I am here to help you. The organization is here to help you. This phenomenal organization, the Joint, the National Black and Hispanic Caucus, is here to help you and encourage you. So now I want to ask, does anyone have any questions for me? Yes. Sure. The name of the scholarship is the Ruth Whitehead Whaley Scholarship. And the organization is the Association of Black Women Attorneys. And we are tri-state. We accept scholarship recipients from New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Any other questions? Yes.
Two questions.
Sure.
So one, as a Latina, how can I be an ally to, Black women? And the second would be, what are some of the biggest challenges for Black women in the legal profession?
Well, the last question is a loaded one, and it can go all day. So I'll start with the first question and then attempt to answer the last question. How can you as a Latina be an ally? We have, as a part of the organization, we support many minority bar organizations, okay? For example, I just recently went to the Puerto Rican Bar Association's gala. I was also putting on a relief fund for Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. So you can help in any way. The same way you help for your own organization and are an ally for your own organization, or for Latinas, you can help out for Black women as well, because we all want to support and promote each other, while not, of course, marginalizing any of our struggles. But I think we have commonalities and we can share and we can be supportive of each other. As for the latter question, the struggles that Black women face, there's several of them, but I like to look at them as not a struggle but an opportunity to overcome, right? So those opportunities are that we don't speak up. Those opportunities are that when our ideas are somewhat misappropriated, we don't say something about it right then and there in a very polite and professional way. We tend to internalize that. So those are some of the things and some of the programs that we put on, for example, Fireside Chat. Some of this information will be revealed and you'll provide opportunities and solutions for some of those problems and how to tackle some of those problems. But thank you for your question. Any other questions? Yes.
Hi, I was a teacher at university my last semester.
Okay.
For next 4 years of study. And I remember like there was an event
Transitioning into law school or from undergrad? Transitioning into law school from undergrad. I think it's been so long for me. Some of undergrad, as I foresee it, I could cram, right, the night before for an exam, and I would get an A. I'd be okay, right, or A minus, and I'm fine with that. I'm satisfied with that. Law school is not that type of institution. You must study. It's more of a changing in the way that you think. They want to teach you how to think analytically. And in order to do that, there has to be a breakdown in the process of how you previously thought. So it's called commitment and dedication. And also, I would say my strongest suit is maturity, okay, and responsibility. And also take law school one day at a time once you get in there. One day at a time, actually 1 hour at a time. I have a nephew or a cousin who's at Howard now, and he's going through his first year. I tell him 1 hour at a time. Call me the next hour. Once you've accomplished something, that's a success. Take it the next hour. Yes.
I have another question. Now, there's a test called the GRE, and right now they're in competition with the LSAT. What will be some of your, advice as far as, traditional students that are so accustomed to knowing the LSAT, opposed to knowing the GRE test that is being accepted so that you can get into law school? And by the way, St. John should start accepting the GRE.
Right. The GRE, I think, to some extent is helpful. When I was going to law school, a lot of people said that the LSAT had nothing to do with the law. And I don't believe that entirely. I think that some of the analytical questions that were on the LSAT actually did help me throughout my career. The GRE provides some comprehension that I also think is very helpful. A lot of litigation, specifically, is writing. And persuasive writing. And if you're able to understand and comprehend and then write persuasively, that you get those tools from the GRE and not so much the LSAT. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. I don't know if my time is up, but I'll take one more question. Yes. Absolutely. We absolutely have them. We have several groups that we have with the organization. One group, community service, where we'd go and reach out to the community. Right now, I mentioned the relief fund that we're putting on. We also have a Boys and Girls Club event that we're putting on. We were going to volunteer at a hospital to give out toys to children. We participate in Bottomless Closet, which is an organization that aids women that are re-entering into the workforce and provides them with some soft skills as well as some advice and advice for interviewing and the like. So yes, we have several programs that we have. I'll also put a plug in. We have an event coming up on the 6th of December. You ladies, it's a mixer, so you're more than welcome to come. It's a beauty and it's a members beauty mixer and holiday soiree, and this goes to the theme of just taking the locality and the environment from more of a professional, let's say, law firm environment or even a cocktail hour to putting you in a place in which you can bond. So this will be at the Opulus Mall at the World Trade Center, at a beauty store there. So yes, we have several opportunities for you to come and volunteer, and we more than welcome you to do so. Any other questions? Yes. If there's one thing I wish I knew before entering into law school to acclimate me to the experience, what would that be? That's a good question. It's interesting. I prepped a lot before going to law school. I did prep courses. I went away for 6 weeks to prepare for law school and changed the way I thought about law school. So I'm not sure if it was something that I would have changed for law school. Yes, there is. I probably would have enjoyed my summer a little more. That's what I would have done. I probably wouldn't have taken a 6-week session, and I would have enjoyed my summer, because your first year of law school, it's different, and it's doable, but it's definitely very time-consuming and intense. But you need to balance. So to answer that question, the best thing would be balancing, being able to balance your personal life and your health with your responsibilities as a law student, and even now as a lawyer. So I don't even think that just applies to the law, but I think that applies to most professions. Anyone else? Yes.
So there are several ways to prepare for the LSAT. However, what way do you best prepare for the test?
I think you should take several exams, several practice exams. Just continuously take your practice exams. When you find an area in which you may not be as strong in, or an area and opportunity to improve on, you study that, but as you get closer to the exam, you need to hone in on the areas that you have some strength in, right, to balance it out. So don't get obsessed about, let's say, the logic games, because you can't get them, because you tend to spend a lot of time with that, and then maybe the comprehensive part you're pretty successful in. You need to practice those, because you want to make sure that you get a score that is actually going to be acceptable to the law schools. You're welcome. Thank you for your question. Any other questions? Well, I thank you very much. What I'll do is I'll provide you with the associations, or my email for the association, which is just president@abwa, New York spelled out, .org. So that's president@abwa, New York spelled out, NEWYORK.org. Feel free to reach out to me and contact me. If you seek to volunteer about events, or if you just want to talk, I'm free here and available to you. Thank you all.